Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. Thanks so much for joining and taking the time to join us today. I'm Sudi Gumi, the Director of Marketing for OptiProERP, and I will be one of your presenters today. So today's webinar will be focused on a fully connected ERP with EDI solution for manufacturers and distributors on SAP Business One, and really uncovering what a fully integrated solution means and looks like. And in doing so, we will be showcasing you the OptiProERP and Edisoft solutions. OptiProERP is an industry-specific ERP and a complete business management solution for manufacturing and distribution on SAP Business One. And Edisoft is an intelligent EDI solution and a solution partner of OptiProERP and SAP Business One as well. And you will see how these two solutions are fully and seamlessly integrated, leveraging the world-class SAP Business One and its flexible platform. You will also see how a connected ERP and EDI solution fully integrates your end-to-end processes and digitally connects your supply chain to give you the process orchestration and automation you need to truly transform your business. And ultimately, driving efficiency and lowering operational costs, eliminating all the manual work, workarounds, and reconciling that may currently exist within your business, and allowing you to focus more on growing the business and truly modernizing your business without having to break the bank on costly software and customizations. So with that little introduction, I would like to introduce you to our presenters today. We have George Yankovic, our Director of Customer Engagement at OptiProERP. He will be assisting with the demonstration. We also have Alexander Palizos, Edisoft's Channel Program Manager, who will be talking briefly about the Edisoft solution, and Moran Nataraja, Edisoft Solution Engineer, who will be assisting with the demonstration as well. For the agenda, I will talk briefly about the OptiProERP solution, and Alexander will talk briefly about the Edisoft solution. The most of the webinar, though, will be a product demonstration of OptiProERP and Edisoft, showing you an end-to-end integrated workflow from EDI order management to fulfillment, and that will be presented by George and Moran. Then we'll wrap up with some Q&A. A few housekeeping items, of course, before we get started. For the Q&A, please ask your questions throughout the webinar as you come up with them by typing them in the chat box in the GoToWebinar toolbar. We will try to get through as many questions. I think we'll have a decent amount of time for Q&A at the end. And for whatever reason, if we can't get to your question during the live webinar, we will follow up with you directly afterwards. If you'd like to have a copy of the slides to follow along as we go through the presentation, you can download them in the GoToWebinar toolbar as well in the handout section. You'll be able to download the PDF, and then we'll be recording the webinar and we'll email you the recording afterwards. So with that, let's get into it. So OptiProERP, a little bit about our solution. It's an industry-specific ERP focused on discrete manufacturing and distribution. So it's focused on the needs of the likes of industrial machinery and components manufacturers, high-tech and electronics, automotive, medical devices, plastics, and other discrete type manufacturers, as well as wholesale distribution. We also have a separate sister solution for process manufacturing, but today we'll be focused on OptiProERP. OptiProERP is an SAP certified solution. As a company, we are SAP's strategic industry partner for manufacturing and distribution, and a special OEM partner of SAP's. And we have been around for 20 plus years with over 3,000 plus customers globally, all of whom are manufacturers and distributors. That's our focus 100%. The OEM partnership, what that means is SAP has given us permission to embed our manufacturing and distribution solution, our own IP solutions, into the SAP Business One platform. We're not an add-on or bolt-on or a traditional third-party solution. Our solution is fully embedded and natively built into the SAP Business One platform. So OptiProERP is an end-to-end and fully integrated solution for manufacturers and distributors. And what we mean by end-to-end is that it covers all aspects of your business functions as a manufacturer and distributor. With the core SAP Business One, you get world-class financials and accounting, CRM, sales, service management, and more. And then what we've done, we've taken that SAP Business One core business management platform and have added our own IP solutions for manufacturing distribution into it, wrapped it in one cohesive platform, and that's what we call OptiProERP. So this additional industry-specific functionality includes production management, advanced planning and scheduling, MRP, MES, a shop floor execution, a warehouse management system, a product configurator, and the ability to manage your primary and alternate BOMs and routings. Now, fully integrated means, first, our manufacturing and distribution functionality is natively built into the SAP Business One platform, as I mentioned. You will see what that means and looks like in the demo shortly. And second, it means that your manufacturing and distribution processes are fully integrated with core business functions like your financials, customer service, logistics, and product design to truly promote visibility between and connect your manufacturing and distribution operations with the rest of your organization. I just want to make sure everyone can hear me. I'm getting a message that my voice is a little broken. If you guys can chat and just make sure that you guys can hear me, that would be much appreciated. So with the OptiPro solution, you get the industry-specific functionality that I just mentioned to meet your manufacturing distribution needs and the market-leading SAP Business One as the underlying platform and technology. And importantly, that's specifically built for small and mid-sized companies. So the underlying platform and technology of your ERP has really become just as important as functionality because it provides your company with the ability to adapt to future business requirements and to do so with speed. And ultimately future-proofing your core business system in many ways and providing the resiliency, which is even more important today. You know, you're hearing about resiliency more and more, particularly in today's kind of challenging environment. So to be more specific, some questions that the underlying platform of your ERP will answer are, can your ERP adapt to your changing processes without a lot of customizations, without becoming slow and clunky? Can it easily integrate with other systems to support your changing needs, like EDI for our purposes today, or e-commerce, shipping, and CAD? Can it easily integrate with other systems to support your changing needs, like EDI for our focus today again? Sorry, I already said that. Can it easily add trading partners, suppliers, a warehouse, overall volume in different geographies as you grow? Can it enable you to work remotely to access the information you need anytime, anywhere? So the platform is really the key enabler to answering yes or no to these questions. And then again, from a dollar and cents perspective, you don't want to purchase and implement an ERP system every 5 to 7 years. It's just too expensive and too disruptive for your business. You want an ERP system that stays current and gives you the ability to adapt to changes as they come. And again, this is ultimately determined and dictated by your underlying platform and technology of your ERP system. This is what the SAP Business One platform provides small and mid-sized companies. It provides market-leading and future-proof technology without the complexity and heavy price tag. It is made and priced for small and mid-sized companies. It is a digital core platform that is cloud and mobile enabled. It's built on in-memory computing, meaning it can handle loads of data in seconds. So it gives you that true real-time processing. It has embedded intelligent technologies such as pervasive analytics and business intelligence and IoT, Internet of Things. And important for our focus today, it has a flexible architecture for various business and system integrations. It is what enables the seamless and rapid integration to solutions like EDI that we're going to show you today. And importantly, it works and is trusted by 70,000 small and mid-sized customers that are on SAP Business One. It is ranked #1 by Gartner by customer count and revenue. So you have the trusted world-class brand of SAP behind it. A bit more about the flexible architecture and integration, because that's important of what we're going to show you. SAP Business One has a flexible architecture, but even more are the best-in-class solutions that are part of the SAP ecosystem. So the flexible platform and the SAP ecosystem give you the ability to integrate with other best-in-class solutions and systems. And today we have one of those best-in-class solutions with respect to EDI, and that is Edisoft. And you will see why they are a best-in-class solution. And outside of EDI, on the slide here are some examples of other type of applications that integrate with SAP Business One: e-commerce, shipping, CAD, point of sale, and more. And here's a simple depiction of the integration between Edisoft and OptiProERP. With this tight integration, Edisoft provides a seamless, error-free, and compliant EDI services as a direct extension of OptiProERP and SAP Business One. So Edisoft fully automates and connects the onboarding of your trading partners, whether they be your suppliers, retail partners, third-party logistics, and carriers. The solution automates and digitizes the EDI order management, orders coming in, brings them into SAP Business One, which serves as your central business system and data asset, where you orchestrate and streamline your key business processes across business functions and your supply chain, and also serves as your single central and reporting system of record. I probably oversimplified that, but I know Alexander will do a better job of explaining the Edisoft solution, and then George and Moran will follow to better show you what that integration looks like. And with that, I will pass it on to Alexander to provide a quick overview of the Edisoft solution.
Thank you, Sudi. Never a bad thing to try and oversimplify, and I can confirm that you were coming in loud and clear throughout the introduction.
Thanks,
so
Alexander.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you taking the time, and again, good morning and good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us today. My name is Alexander Polizos. I am the Channel Program Manager here at Edisoft. We're thrilled to be presenting alongside OptiPro and hoping everyone is safe and well during this very challenging time. And certainly we're here today to show you how we can help improve and make things a little more manageable in your day-to-day with best-in-class technology. So with that, let's get right into it and talk about, again, a brief overview of Merchant Cloud. So Edisoft's Merchant Cloud is a SaaS, browser-based, and multi-tenanted order management application. And today we'll be discussing its applicability to EDI for OptiProERP with SAP Business One. Now, in the spirit of our partnership with OptiProERP with SAP Business One, of course, everything about having a integrated end-to-end solution, one that with OptiProERP, you're choosing one that's embedded within the best-in-class SAP Business One platform. That is exactly the type of experience that Edisoft continues to provide as an extension of OptiProERP with SAP Business One. So what Merchant Cloud does is we actually enhance that functionality in the world of EDI, allowing users to extend their existing business processes into EDI order channels, all while maintaining full financial or ERP and EDI compliance, while standardizing those practices throughout the order to cash cycle as they are already configured in your OptiProERP with SAP Business One environment. This drives a hands-free EDI experience that is based on the OptiProERP with SAP Business One screens you already know and love for driving your business. So again, can't emphasize that enough. This is about being able to be EDI compliant, increase your order capacity, increase your order volume through these channels, accessing these channels without having to be an EDI expert. You're going to see that today in the demonstration, how we drive a true hands-free EDI experience. So ultimately, Merchant Cloud allows you to orchestrate EDI while driving an autonomous user experience. We do so by connecting to OptiProERP with SAP Business One and other data sources as required to deliver EDI services that are based on your ERP setup and not your trading partner's transactional data. So again, this is about making your business EDI compliant without having to be an EDI expert. All of Edisoft's technology is configurable and menu-driven to streamline support, maintenance, compatibility upgrades, and be the only EDI solution in the market that allows you to self-manage your EDI needs, should that be of interest. Edisoft also has its own fully dedicated support and services team to provide that ongoing on-demand support as required. Now, as part of today's demonstration, I'm going to hand it over momentarily to Moran Nataraja, who will begin our demonstration today by providing a brief overview of Merchant Cloud and some of the considerations I've mentioned above. Then we'll be moving into the journey of an EDI sales order, as well as the OptiProERP with SAP Business One screens. So with that said, and without further ado, over to you, Moran.
Thank you, Alexander. So just wanted to quickly highlight what you see on your screen right here. This is our Edisoft browser-based Merchant Cloud EDI order management application. And as Alexander mentioned, it is a SaaS-based solution that can be accessed from anywhere or any device. Right now on your screen, what you're seeing is we are in the inbox, which is the portal to access your inbound documents, such as purchase orders, as well as reports, such as text messages or application advice documents, or various EDI documents that can be transmitted from a trading partner. I'll be showing later on in the demonstration, I will be showing you the outbox and how we'll keep a track of your outbound documents. Now, before I proceed and show you how an order gets posted into OptiProERP, I do want to highlight some of the self-service capabilities of Merchant Cloud. It's highly configurable nature. So as you can see here, we have various posting options, which allows you to go into things like configuring how Merchant Cloud handles pricing, whether you want to use the EDI pricing or the ERP pricing, or even if you want to put the order on hold if it's past a specific threshold. So there's various options, both for inbound documents as well as outbound documents. However, we'll make it configurable, getting rid of any ETL integration complexities that are typically found in competitive products. So navigating back to the inbox, we have our current transaction list here. Typically, what happens is documents are automatically received in from the trading partner and posted directly into the ERP. And the only time that you would have to come into this interface is if you get an email alert, and that's when you would come in and check this interface. So we have an Amazon order that we've received in. It's been automatically posted. That's why it's in the history section here. And if you look at the process log, we have order number 86 that's been posted into OptiPro ERP. So now I'm going to transition it over to George, who's going to pick up this order for the rest of the journey within OptiProERP, and we'll connect back up once he has completed his process within OptiPro.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and good morning. My name is George Yankovic. What you're looking at right now is something called the cockpit. Each and every user can have his or her own cockpit with the kinds of things on it that they need to do their day-to-day job or measure their performance. I'm the manager. I'm a super user. I can do anything within the system. And I'm in this company called Speakers Incorporated. This is one of many companies that you can have because it's a multi solution, truly a world-class situation here. It doesn't really matter how many companies you have, 41 different localizations around the world in 27 different languages. It doesn't really matter, okay? On my cockpit, I may have key performance indicators, I may have reports, I may have graphs, I may have processes that I'm involved with. There's this thing called common functions in which I take the things that I'm going to work on day in and day out or rarely and put them in here, then I never have to look for them in the menu. These aren't just pretty pictures too. For instance, if I'm going to do a sales order, I can click into a sales order right here, and lo and behold, here's that sales order that came in through EDI. You know, this is seamless integration. There's no need to rekey anything. There's no need to do anything with all of that. It's right here in front of you, okay? Now, let's just take a look at what the scope of the solution is so that you can see everything that's out here. Here's the menu over here. Administration is where we set up, do all the switches and dials and settings to have the system work. It's where you set up all your approval processes and workflow and everything else as well. not only embedded business intelligence, as you see here, and not only accounting and financials, but within financials, we'll be able to handle all your 1099s. We'll be able to do all your fixed assets, full budgeting capability, full costing, full cost accounting. All of that is included within the solution, okay? Embedded CRM, and it's not just customer relationship management, it's business partner relationship management on both sides of the equation. So if you have want to take your contacts to your suppliers, or if you're bringing on a new supplier and you want to track all of that, you have that right within there. Do all your campaigns and stuff from here as well. Opportunities are really just a subset of CRM broken out for authorization purposes. Everything to do with sales, from blanket agreements all the way down to AR credit memos, everything to do with purchasing, from blanket agreements all the way down to AP invoices with landed costs as well. So if you have any third-party costs, we'll be able to handle that and spread that across your inventory however you want to do it, okay? As I said before, business partners are anybody you do business with. Customers, leads, vendors. If a lead turns into a customer, that's all you have to do is just change the type of it. That's it. Banking is where you deal with all your money, from incoming payments, deposits, outgoing payments. There's a wizard that'll cut all your paychecks. All your bank statement reconciliation is here as well. Inventory is exactly what you think it is. All your item masters, barcodes, control of serial numbers and batch numbers and lot numbers and all of that, all your inventory capabilities, any number of price lists that you might want to have. Pick and pack manager to control what's being picked for whatever reason you need to out of your warehouse. Resources are anything that you constrains you for capacity planning purposes and also for scheduling purposes. Service, anything that happens after the sale, from anything like warranty issues or complaints or questions or anything like that. Even there's even a knowledge base built into the system so that your customer service people or engineers appear to be experts on all your products and services. HR is included as well. This is where you define all your roles for your employees and subcontractors and what they can do, what they can't do, all of that here. Project management, full project management with external projects, internal projects, sub-projects. All you have to do to get something to go into a project is simply reference it in any one of the other transactions within the system, and everything flows into the project. There's also the ability to bill by milestones or progress payments in here as well. Reports are just simply a repository for all the different kinds of reports that we have in all the different, quote, modules, even though there are no real modules. They're sort of spheres of functionality, that's all. Excel Reporter, one of the 6 different reporting tools that you have that come with the system. In this case, you work directly with Excel, and you never have to worry about where you're going to go within the database. You'd go directly against the objects within the database, and your knowledge is only limited by your knowledge of how to do things within Excel. Okay. Within manufacturing, full quality control with all your plans and subplans for sampling, etc. We can do QC tests at any point within your process, from the time you receive raw material to the time you ship finished goods out the door, and any point in between, along with non-conformance reporting and very soon CAPA as well. Production is where you have all your bills and routings and work centers and equipment masters and tooling and gauges, and this is where all your production orders are, and move orders and engineering change orders. All of that is in here as well, where we can do all your cost roll-ups and produce all your labels, etc. from here as well. Planning, world-class forecasting, okay? And then along with that, master production scheduling and material requirements planning. These are both time phase, gross to net, level by level planning algorithms that have been around forever. And in this case, if the system finds demand for some item and doesn't find supply, it's going to create a planned order to go get that supply. That happens to be a make item, explode through the bill of material, generate demand for all of the components of that particular product, and so on and so forth, all the way through your product structure until you get down to raw material. Okay, both master production scheduling and material requirements planning, along with rough cut capacity planning to make sure that those plans are realistic and doable. Okay, so that's not the full scope of everything, though. We have a whole bunch of mobility. Here are 3 iPhone apps, or you can be Android apps or even iPad apps. You can go to the Apple Store or the Android Store today, download these for free, hook them up to a demo database and play with them today if you want to, okay? So a general one, one for mobile sales and one for mobile service as well. We have all of that. In addition to all of that, we have a whole bunch of web apps that we have. There's an admin app to control who can get at what and all the other apps. If your products have models, features, and options, we have a full configurator, okay? Full warehouse management solution so that you can do all of your inventory transactions on a mobile device using barcoding. Whatever barcoding you want to use, we don't care. One-dimensional, two-dimensional, RFID, we don't care. As long as you can read the kind of barcode in that density with the kind of scanner that you're using, that's okay. Shop floor execution system from a management standpoint and also from somebody on the factory floor so that we can capture exactly what's going on minute by minute by minute in work in process by the people who are doing the work. In addition to all of that, a mobile move order so we can move things around electronically. Then there's a shop supervision app where you can look at your explosion of your products, rough cut capacity planning output from there, full lot or serial number bidirectional traceability with recall capabilities, full production capabilities, and work center status along with that. And then you can capture the results of all your QC tests on a mobile app as well, right there on the floor if you need to. In addition to all of that, we have some utilities that I have to point out. Everybody asks, how do we ever going to get our legacy data into the system? We have a data transfer workbench that will do that for you. A wizard-driven thing that will bring anything into the system, and we supply the templates for you. We show you how to use them. You can then use those for updating things en masse or loading your data to get started within the system. All you have to do is supply the data. It'll go through the same validation as if you manually keyed in the system, and everything goes in lockstep for all the tables that are related. Everything works together. Now, here, this is the SAP Business One Studio, another utility that I would be remiss if I skipped. Powerful but easy to use graphical workflow engine. As a result of all of this, what you should know is that all of your day-to-day processes remain under control, okay? And so up in the toolbar here, I might have a work list that I have to do, and I can see all the things that are assigned to me to work on. I don't have anything at this point, but I'd see it right here, along with my calendars, which are bidirectionally synchronized with Outlook or Gmail. This is a search function that will find anything within the menu. So if I wanted to find a bill of material report, here it is. And here's the speakers that we're going to be making today. Here's the bill of material. I can expand it all and see it all right down to raw material right from here and drill into anything from here with those golden arrows that you see, okay? If I had other objects that I was looking for on my cockpit, well, I can update my cockpit right from here, okay, and move things around and do anything I want or add anything to it if I want to right from here. There's wizards that will drop in all of these hundreds of KPIs, dashboards, reports, graphs that come with the system. If you wanted to add anything more to this, that's a simple thing to do. I'll save my cockpit right here, and I can add those with pervasive analytics right up in here, which will allow me to add any new KPI or dashboard. And I don't have to be a programmer to do any of that. I can do it right from here, okay? This is a search function that will find anything in the system. Let's say somebody calls up and says, I have order number 71, okay? Did you guys ever invoice that to me? Well, I'm looking for a sales order. Here's my order number, sales number 71. It found a lot of things with 71 in them. Here's my order, okay? If I want to find out what to do with it, what happened to it, that's called the relationship map. And here's what happened with that order. It started with a quotation, turned it into order. A customer must have liked that. Make to order product. So we created a production order from that. Okay. We shipped it out the door on this call. We had a service call against it, a problem with it. So here's my service call. We invoiced it here. Here's my incoming payment. I can take my invoice right from here, email it right out to the customer, right while I'm on the phone with it. Everybody says they're integrated. This is at the far end of the spectrum. Everything is tied together from the time you meet a potential customer to the time money's in the bank. From the highest levels of inquiry, just like you just saw, down to individual journal entries that make everything all up. Everything is all tied together in one coherent whole. Let's go back to our order though. Here we are, that's the reason that we're here. Here's our sales order, okay? And I can just pick up the last one that we had. Here it came in from Veritas Corporation from our high definition tower speakers and our surround speakers. The order is right here. Now, normally what we would do is we would go into planning, okay? And we would pick up our plan and we'd go through MPS and MRP. Let me get this out of the way here. I'll move that over here. We'll get this, or get our plan over the way. And in planning then, what we can do is we would be able to actually go ahead and release those orders. We would release the orders right from here and create actual orders, okay? I can then pick up the production order that we would use to make it right from my cockpit. Here's my production order, and I'll pick up the one that we're working on here. This is making our high definition tower speakers that we've ordered, okay? And as you can see, it brought in a copy of the bill of material, a copy of the routing, okay? So we have an as-built bill of material and an as-built routing. All of these changes with revisions, alternate bills of materials and alternate routings and sequences of them, all are date controlled with effective with engineering changes as well. And we forward schedule by operation. So here's my first operation, which starts on this date, can start at 9 a.m., get done at 10 a.m. The next operation starts at 10, taking into account move time, queue times, QC times, all of that, okay? Forward scheduled with respect to capacity, so we come up with an end date and an end time. What we would do then is we would report against these in shop floor execution system. We'd pick up a task, we would see that we'd have to make our speakers, we could record the time against that right here, on here, recordable by operation. When we complete all of that, then what happens? Well, we might have some QC to be done. At that point in time, we might be in the system here, and we'd pick up a test order to our test data collection transaction to pick up an order that we might be checking for. And we can capture the results of all of that right here and capture the results of the tests that we would be performing right here, both alphanumeric tests and numeric tests. We can do that within the system as well. If anything failed, they would be set to go to an MRB location, open up a non-conformance report, all of that would all be done. When we complete our last operation, then what we'd have up here in our production order, we would see that we'd go through all those operations, all our material would be issued, okay, because we can issue it by completing the operations or manually do it if we needed to do all of that. And in the end then, when we complete the order, the last thing we need to do is do a goods receipt, okay? We can do that within inventory, or we could do that also from our WMS system, where we do a receipt for production right from here. And just put in the order number, follow the bouncing ball, receive that material into finished goods. As a result of that, then, now we have things that we can ship. And then within inventory, we would have our pick and pack manager, where the pick and pack manager would pick all this up. It would then select all the orders that we want to go ahead and ship, okay? It would show me all the things that we can ship. I would select the ones that we're going to pick, okay? Release those to picking. They would show up here in all those that are released. We could either pick them on paper or we could pick them electronically, okay? When they are picked, they show up in our picked list. And then from here, we can go ahead and generate shipments right from here, okay? Let me do that a little different way for our purposes today. I'll skip all of that because we don't have time to go through it all and show you all the different ways that we can pick and everything. So let me go pick up our sales order. Here's our sales order again. And let me just directly ship this, okay? I can do it a couple of different ways. I can simply copy it to a delivery. Notice all the keying that I'm doing? Simple, easy thing to do. I have one pair of high definition tower speakers and two of the surround speakers that were going. You notice that pricing was all automatic. All the logistics information was already filled in with how we're going to ship things and everything. All the payment terms and everything came in. I didn't have to key any of that in. That was automatic as well. And if we had any pictures or anything like that, we could attach them as well, or any other documents. Any number of attachments you can have to anything that you want to. So here's my delivery. All I have to do is press add to do all of that, okay? Now, I'll say yes to that. Ah, you notice something happened? We have this high definition tower speakers, 2 of them, because we're shipping 1 pair, that absolutely have to have serial numbers. They're serial controlled. So I'll automatically select my serial numbers and I'll allocate them automatically. I can do that by FIFO, FIFO, LIFO, however I'm going to do this. I'll say okay to all of that. And then when I add all of this, now I've got that serial number traceability built in. And as a result of this, here's my delivery now. What happened from that? We now have shipped our inventory out the door. Okay, we've taken 2 of our speakers at that cost for that customer on that document from that customer from that warehouse, and we've shipped them out the door. Okay, and through automatic account determination, we have debited finished goods or credited finished goods and debited cost of goods sold. So all the financials have been updated. Also, all the cockpits and everything have been updated. All the financials, all of the reporting, all the analysis, all of my cockpits, everything's been updated as a result of doing that transaction. Okay. Now I could do the same thing when it's time to do invoicing, but I'll do it a slightly different way. Let's close this out. Okay. And I'll go into producing an invoice right from here. Here's my invoice. I can start with my customer, Veritas. I'll pick up my customer, and this time I'll copy from deliveries that we've had. We've had a whole bunch of deliveries. I'll pick up the last one that I just did today, and we'll choose that one. Okay? And we can copy some or all of it. I'll just take it all. Bring all of that into my invoice. If I wanted to, I could use our invoice generation wizard, which will generate a whole bunch of invoice and ship them out the door if you need to do all that. That's another way we can do things. And as a result, all I have to do now is press add here. I didn't have to key anything else in. All my dates are filled in. Everything's done already. Okay, done. As a result of that, now I have my AR invoice. Okay, what happened as a result of this? Well, we have now debited the customer, so we have accounts receivable. Okay, we didn't have any taxes, but we can handle taxes on a zip code by zip code level by jurisdiction automatically. And we've also credited revenue right now. So if I were to drill into the chart of accounts, here I am in the chart of accounts. If I drill into the balance here, I can see all the transactions that hit that. Here's the last one that we just did right now. Okay, everything is tied together in one coherent whole. Everything is tied together. So now if I looked at what happened, what we did today in my relationship map, here's the sales order, which we shipped out the door on this delivery, and here's my AR invoice. And now let's turn this back over to Moran and show you what happened in Edisoft as a result of my shipment and my invoice. We should get an ASN and other things happening. Back to you, Moran.
Thank you, George. So now we navigate back to our outbox, as I mentioned earlier. And as George had created his delivery within OptiProERP, as well as the invoice, Merchant Cloud then automatically triggers the 856 document, which is an advanced ship notice, as well as an 810, which is an invoice document, based off of those transactions within OptiProERP. So this eliminates the rekeying, and there's no manual entry at all. And what this gives you is a very efficient and automated EDI solution that integrates with OptiProERP, eliminating rekeying, as well as, of course, increasing your compliance scorecard with your trading partner without having to manually key this in, as well as in terms of timing as well. And that concludes our demonstration of our Amazon order coming in, getting posted, getting processed through OptiProERP, and then generating the outbound EDI documents that are required for that specific trading partner. And back over to you, Sudhi.
Oh, I'm on mute. Thanks, Moran. We can jump into some Q&A now. Give me 1 second as I look through the questions. We have a question here on, it looks like on the EDI side. How are transaction errors handled?
Yeah,
Alexander or, yeah, go ahead.
absolutely. That's a great question, Sudi. So we would consider that exception handling. Now, when we talked about being an extension and enhancing the OptiPro ERP experience by allowing you to orchestrate, extend the orchestration of your business processes into EDI, the only time where full automation is configured, and that's what we demonstrated today, obviously, as George completed the delivery and the invoice, we're reading that information through certified OptiPro API integration, OptiPro ERP API integration with SAP Business One, picking up that information, sending out compliant and automated EDI ASNs, advanced shipment notices, as well as EDI 810 invoices. Now, the only time our customers tend to go into the application is for exception handling. Now, what that will do is actually prevent the order from posting. Merchant Cloud is validating your master data in OptiPro ERP in real time. It's recognizing one of a few things: a transactional code for ship to locations, items, pricing that it hasn't seen before. It's checking your master data, and in real time, it's allowing those orders that are valid to go into OptiPro ERP as sales orders, as you saw in this demonstration. It's actually looking at pulling out those exceptions, sending a notification to you, the user, and asking you to check this now. What it will actually do based on our connection to OptiPro ERP is actually read in the master data list that you have available. And without any coding or ETL tools or customization required, it is simply a drag and drop or a matching screen that says, here's a real-time view of all your item codes. Here's the item code that has been sent in from your EDI trading partner. Please click and match up the two. Save that in Edisoft's Merchant Cloud's cross-reference tables, and on you go. The order will be posted successfully thereafter, and it saves that for future reference. So that is one example when we talk about item codes. The same technology, which we call map on the fly, applies to your ship to locations, pricing, customer codes, so on and so forth. And these are things that we handle in a very unique way at Edisoft with our map on the fly technology. Again, not requiring any extract, transform, or load tools, not requiring you any customizations or programming to customize the field level mapping between OptiPro ERP and an EDI application. We are actually reading that master data in real time, allowing you to choose the corresponding value and create a cross-reference that is held within our application Merchant Cloud to prevent the dumping of transactional data that is not relevant to your ERP into OptiPro. Thanks, Sudi.
Thanks, Alexander. Please continue to ask your questions. We have a few more here, more on EDI. Alexander, looks like these couple are about onboarding. Can you talk through, again, the process of adding a new partner or supplier?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's a great question. And this can be a very cumbersome process if not working with the right EDI vendor. Again, and I'm going to reference our connection to OptiPro ERP with SAP Business One. The way Edisoft's Merchant Cloud actually leverages our connector to OptiPro ERP with SAP Business One is to precisely have a real-time view to all of the master data for the relevant modules that we need. Sales order, inventory, customer accounts in terms of your accounts, AR customer accounts. That is what we're reading in real time. Again, not having the need to provide customized field level data mappings. So what we're doing is we're actually saying we understand all of your master data information, and we can see that in real time, and we simply link it to what we call a trading partner connector. So the onboarding for us is a simple process of actually connecting those relevant ERP fields within our application as cross-references to a trading partner specification. What do they want on their outbound invoices that you would be sending to them if we're talking about a customer relationship? All of these aspects allow us to set up an industry-leading time. So for a single customer, let's say you are an OptiProERP distributor or discrete manufacturer and you want to do business with Walmart or Amazon, those typically take Edisoft approximately 3 to 5 business days. Now, the main variability that ever comes into any deployment is actually the trading partner testing schedule. So if we remove that variability, we typically see about, on average, a 5 business day turnaround to set you up with a new trading partner, whether that be a customer, supplier, logistics provider, what have you. Thank you, Sudhi.
Okay. Another related question, Alexander. So if a trading partner changes their format, how easy it is to make those adjustments?
Absolutely. Now, because we are actually, when I mentioned earlier, a standardized business process, we look at one of those, let's say sales order posting. So you saw in today's demonstration, an 850 purchase order come in and be automatically posted to OptiProERP with SAP Business One as a sales order. That same function is standardized as part of the connection between Merchant Cloud and OptiProERP. Now, on the other side of that is the actual file format for what we're receiving from the trading partner or what they need us to send back. So Edisoft can actually handle all sorts of file formats, whether they be ANSI X.12 if you're doing business in Europe and you have to deal with Edifact. We can even handle proprietary XML formats, CSV files, etc. Now, we will work with your trading partner to identify identify precisely what type of file format they're working with. But those changes are simply, once again, an exercise for Edisoft to take your existing business function of generating an invoice, which is applicable for all your trading partners. That allows us to deliver quickly and manage these changes more effectively, and then simply map it to a new file format, as opposed to having to redo field level mapping or any customizations between your applications to maintain that integration. So we actually make that process much easier as well. Again, it's hard to put an exact date on that depending on the types of changes, if in a file format or how widespread that is across multiple documents. But again, something that we uniquely simplify with our technology.
Okay. George, question for OptiProERP solution. What core modules of the SAP Business One do you need to have the OptiProERP manufacturing components?
What core modules do you need in to use OptiPro? Most likely planning and production, and optionally, if you need, QC as well, quality control.
Okay, I think the question might be, George, and I'm doing my interpretation of it, is are there any minimal requirements for the core modules of SAP Business One needed to use the OptiProERP solution? I guess like the financial accounting, are there requirements for the SAP Business One modules? That's what I'm taking the question to be.
Well, obviously, we pull information from different places like the item master and the customer master and things like that. But no, there's no hard and fast rule that say you must use banking or you must use financials or whatever. No, it's simply a matter of, and in fact, when you get the system, you get all of those modules. It's not sold by the module. It is sold by the user, and so as a result of that, you just turn on what you want to use and you don't turn on what you don't want to use. Simple as that.
Okay,
and if you want to use it later on, you turn it on later. You don't have to buy more modules to grow into more functionality because you get it all with the first user.
Okay. Next question. I'm assuming this is for EDI. So Alexander, maybe a question for you. Is this a fully automated process, or are there manual interventions required? I'm not sure if they're just sounds like a broad question. Yeah.
Even if it isn't, so you have to answer it from the EDI perspective. It is a fully autonomous experience. We designed Merchant Cloud for OptiProERP with SAP B1 to be a managed by exception program. Meaning to say, as you go through your normal course of business, depending on the EDI documents you need, whether those be inbound purchase orders, outbound purchase order acknowledgements, purchase order change requests, outbound ASNs, outbound invoices. We are actually going to allow you to manage your OptiProERP with SAP B1 screens, which you know and love to run your business, and allow us to manage your EDI compliance and automation. So it is a fully autonomous user experience.
Okay, thanks. Looks like that's it for the questions, guys. Thank you so much, and thank you to the attendees for joining. We do have a brief survey at the end of the webinar and would appreciate your feedback. And as I mentioned, we will be sending you a recording of the webinar. With that, on behalf of the OptiProERP and Edisoft teams, thank you so much for your time. Again, really appreciate it, and please take care. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, as well. Bye-bye.